Okay, welcome to Chapter 4, Lesson 2, Relations. Our learning target or objective for this lesson is to use the coordinate plane to represent relations. Once again, the CCSS, our Common Core State Standard, is 8.F1. We'll look at our vocabulary first before we start the lesson. Our first vocabulary word is relation, and relation is any set of ordered pairs. So an example for an ordered pair would be either 3, 2 or 4, -2. Once again, you can pause the video to write down the definition, and once you're ready, restart the video. Okay, we're going to look at our second definition, which is domain. Domain is the set of x-coordinates. So if we take a look back at our ordered pairs from our first example relation, our x-coordinate, our set of x-coordinates would be 3 and 4. As we know, in an ordered pair, the first number is the x-coordinate, the second number is the y-coordinate. And our third and final definition for this lesson will be range. And range is simply the set of the y-coordinates. So in our example of the ordered pairs, our range would be 2 and -2. Okay, you can pause, and once you are done with the definitions, you may continue the video. We're going to go into examples now. Okay, our key concept for this lesson of relations is ordered pairs, or the relations of ordered pairs. Let's take a look on the left side of the screen. We have our ordered pairs. We have -2, 3, 1, 2, 0, -1, and 3, 1. Breaking this down from our definitions, our domain would be all of our x-coordinates. Our x-coordinates would be -2, 1, 0, and 3. And then our range, the range are the y-coordinates. They're all there in blue on the right-hand side, which would be 3, 2, -1, and 1. So what we want to do too in this lesson is we're going to show our relations, our ordered pairs in tables and also on graphs. So on your table, let's put down all of our domain, write domain on top of the x. Domain is our x. Just list all the x. We have -2, 1, 0, and 3. And on top of the y, write range. And our range for these set of ordered pairs, once again, would be 3, 2, -1, and 1. And also throughout this lesson, as well as putting them in the table, you're going to have to graph the ordered pairs. So we will graph these. We'll look at our first one. So we have -2, 3. Once again, we have our x-axis and our y-axis. -2, so we go over 2 spots from our origin, over 2. And then we're going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3. There's that. Our next one is 1, 2. We start at origin, we go over 1, up 2. There is point. Our next point is 0, -1. So we start at the origin 0, we don't move anywhere, and we go down -1. And our fourth and final one is 3, 1. Start at the origin, go over to the right 3, 1, 2, 3, up 1. And there you have it. You just graphed your ordered pairs or your relations. Moving on to our next example, express the relation of those ordered pairs. Okay, once again, I want you just to get you down the habit of writing over x. X is the domain, or all the x's. Y is the range. Okay, now we just want to put in the right side domain in range. So all of our x's, our first x would be -5. Next x is 3, followed by 6 and 1. Now moving over to our range, or the y's, we have 2, -1, another 2, and 7. So there is your relation in table form. Okay, now we're going to just graph our points. So our first point is -5, 2. So we go over 5 from the origin to the left, it's a negative. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 2. That takes care of -5, 2. Our next one is 3, -1. So you start the origin, you go over to the right, three spots, 1, 2, 3. It's a negative, so we're going to go down 1. There's 3, -1. So check that off. Our next point is 6, 2. So you're going to go over 6 from the origin to the right. 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 2. There is 6, 2. And the last one is 1, 7. So we're going to start at the middle, our origin. We go over 1, and we're going to go up +7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is your last spot. Now some to the, if you need to, if you want to, on the ordered pairs, you may write on your graph then 1, 7, so that way you know what that coordinate is without having to go back and double check or to count, if it makes things simple, because you never know. You might need those coordinates for something future on a test or a question. So if you already have the point labeled, it makes it much easier for you. Okay, we're going to move on to our real world example for this lesson. Okay, a movie rental storage charges $3.95 per movie rental. Make a table of ordered pairs in which the x-coordinate represents the number of movies rented and the y-coordinate represents the total cost for 1, 2, 3, 4 movies. Graph the ordered pairs. Okay, you see your table is blank. So what we need to do in there is, first of all, we'll set our x and y's. Now x represents the number of movies rented, and we're going from 1 to 4, so we'll just mark 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we need to fill in is our cost. So our cost for one movie, we know per movie is at the very top, $3.95 for one. So it's going to cost us $3.95 for one video. Now for two videos, we just have to multiply $3.95 times 2, which will be $7.90. 3 movies will cost us $11.85. And 4 movies will cost us $15.80. Okay, X represents the movies. Y represents the cost. Now on the bottom, we're going to have to label our X and Y axis and also graph our points. So this is our X axis, this is our Y axis. Our X axis represents our movies. So at the bottom here, I'd write movies. And then on the Y, it's going to be the cost. Okay, now we're going to need to label. We're going to skip every one here to make it a little bit wider. So at the bottom, we're going to skip 1, make this 1. Skip 1, make it 2. Skip 1, make it 3. Skip 1, make it 4. Then on our y-axis, our total cost, we're going to go by 2's. So it'll be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Smartboard is misaligned a little bit, but we'll make do with it. 14, and 16. Okay, we'll do the best we can. So let's graph our points. Our first move cost our point is 1,395. So once again, we start at the origin, go over 1, we'll go up 395, so right about there's 395. Okay, now our next coordinate is 2, 790. So we go to the x number 2, positive 2, go up to right before the 8. Once again, we're right about there. 3, 1185, so we go from the origin over to the 3, up right before the 12, close enough. And the fourth movie, 4, 5, 1580. 4, 1580. And there you have it. Okay, for this lesson then, we're just going to be looking at relations, or the set of ordered pairs, the domain and range, which are the x and y coordinates, and then putting them in a table, and then also graphing the ordered pairs. Okay, if you have any questions, please have them ready for class, and then be ready for the activity.